Hello, folks. Welcome to today's football predictions of Betcast. Another very beautiful Friday morning. And once again, we are back with our predictions as usual. All right, we always look at football games that are happening across the globe. And amongst these games, we select a few of them, look into them thoroughly and also making verdict using the present past results for each of these teams. Okay, we put all that together and come up with the best possible verdict for each of the matches that are going on. That's what we do and exactly what we're going to do in a short while. Yesterday, we had quite, good outing. We saw the big horse playing out just the way we wanted it, even though we didn't get all the matches correctly. But today, we are hoping to achieve 100% predictions today, and just as we are doing in the past. All right, and also remember that we have our, VIP special group where we put out games that quite more likely of coming out correctly, and those games will be there. Do endeavor to join. You can always find the link in the description of this very video, as well as anyway, see join channel membership around this very video. Right. That being said, without further ado, we head to the business of today, and it starts with a game in the Italian Serie A where we'll have Lecce who will be coming up against AC Milan. Okay, when we look at the stats for Lecce in the last 6 matches, they've won 3 and drawn 2. They've also lost 1. And AC Milan are the same, winning 3 games and drawing 1, but losing 2 games in the last 6 matches. All right. When you take a look at how these two teams fared from home and away plays, Lecce in the last 10 home matches have only managed 2 wins and 2 draws. They've lost 6 games in the last 10 home games that they had so far. That tells you that 60% of the time they're playing from home, they've actually lost their matches. Okay, and the away side, AC Milan, on the other hand, in the last 10 away matches that they have so far, they've been able to achieve 6 victories and a draw. They've lost 3 matches in the last 10 away matches that they have so far. That tells you that this is a side who have actually won 60% of their away matches. And that, when we look at how these two teams fared when they met each other on a head-to-head basis, last time they met was actually March of this very year. It was AC Milan who won from away against Lecce by 3-2. And prior to that, we saw AC Milan beating this very side, Lecce, by 3-0 and another 3-0. So the last 3 meetings between the two sides have seen AC Milan dominate against Lecce. So we do expect to see that dominance continuing in this very one. So we expect to see the away side, AC Milan, to win outright in this one. So we give it to the away side. And we win. That's our verdict for that very game. And the next that we have for you today is in Netherlands, Eredivisie, where we have FC Groningen who will be up against Heracles and Melo. All right, when you take a look at how these two teams fared recent times, Groningen, the home side, have won 2 matches and a draw, and we saw them losing 30 games in the last 6 matches that they have so far. And the away side, Heracles have had just 2 victories. Also, they've lost 4 games in the last 6 recent matches that they have so far. And when you take a look at the performances for home and away basis, you can see that Groningen, the home side, have actually won 7 matches and drawn 2 games in the last 10 home matches. You can see that they have only lost 1 game out of the last 10 home games. That's a side that does so very well from home. We saw them even playing the likes of Ajax, having a 2-2 draw against the Ajax, from home. And we saw the away side Heracles in the last 10 away games. They've had just 2 victories and 2 draws. They've also lost, 6 matches in the last 10 away matches. The last away game they had was against Ajax, and we saw them losing out to Ajax by 2-0 on that very occasion. But meanwhile, Groningen, on the other hand, the last home game was against Herenveen, and we saw them beating Herenveen by 2-1. And on head-to-head basis, the last time both teams met, it was Groningen who actually had the victory against Heracles. This happened in April of this very year. We saw Groningen winning by 4-1 against Heracles in the last meeting. And actually, Groningen have done very well. The last 10 meetings, I've seen them winning 2 times out of 3, and the other one being a draw against this very side. So we are putting all that together. We know that the home side is definitely more likely to take the day, and we are going with the home side to win in this very encounter. So home side to win outrightly. That's our verdict. And the next is in Polish Division 1 in Poland, where we have Miedz Legnica who will be up against Wisla Krakow. And we know that Legnica, the home side, have had just 2 victories out of the last 6 matches. They've also drawn 1 match and they've lost 3 games in the last 6 games. All right, for Krakow, Wisla Krakow, we've seen them winning all the 6 matches that they had at recent times. 6 out of 6. I've seen they've won. But when you look at how the two teams fared from home and away basis, you can see that Legnica, the home side, have actually done, pretty okay playing from home, winning the last 6 games in the last 10 home matches that they had from home. And they've lost a 3, they've had 1 draw as well. But when you take a look at the away side, on the other hand, the last 10 away matches that they have so far, I've seen them winning 8 games in the last 10 away games. They've also drawn 2 out of those. But again, quite noticeable is the fact that both sides are scoring lots of goals. The last 5 home matches for the home side have produced about 2.5. Rather, the last 6 home matches that they had produced over 2.5 5 times out of 6, and the last 10 they've had over 2.5 8 times out of 10. And for their away side, Wisla, Krakow, the last 6 away games they have so far have produced over 2.5 5 times out of 6. That tells you that these are sides that score lots of goals as well as concede. We could see that Wisla Krakow in the last away game they won by 7 goals to 0. Prior to that we saw them beating a side by 4 goals to 3 as well as 4 goals to 0 against Stella Milan. So that tells you it's a side that score a lot of goals in recent times, and that's the reason why we are going with the goals to occur in this very encounter. We expect to see a minimum of 3 goals, and that is an over 2.5. That's what value for that very one. All right, and the next that we have for you today is a game in Republic of Ireland, first division, where we have Dundalk will be up against Kerry, and we can see in the last 6 for Dundalk, it is 5 victories and 1 draw and 1 loss rather. 5 wins and 1 loss, and Kerry on the other hand 3 wins and a draw as well as 2 losses. And when you look at how they perform from home and away basis, Dundalk have actually won 5 matches and 4 draws, losing just 1 out of the last 10 home games. The last 3 home games that they have, so they're winning all 3 home games. And we could see that Kerry, on the other hand, have only managed 1 win and 2 draws in the last 10 away matches. They've lost 7 matches out of the last 10 away games. That's to say 70% of the away games that they have so far resulted to a loss to them. And on head-to-head basis, the last 3 meetings between the two sides, I've seen Dundalk beating this very side on all locations. The last meeting was actually in July last month. We actually saw Dundalk from away beating Kerry by 4 goals to 0. So we definitely expect the home side to take it there here and win out of it. So we are going with the home side to win. That's our verdict, okay? And that takes us to the last for today. It is a game in Paraguay, second division, where we have Atletico coming up against Sportivo. All right, then when you look at the stats for these two sides, the home side Atletico have had just 2 draws and 4 losses out of the last 6 matches. And Sportivo on the other hand, Trinidad, it is a side that had 4 victories and a draw as well as 1 loss in the last 6 games. And from home and away basis, the home side have won nothing in the last 10 home matches. They've actually had 3 draws, the best result they could have, and they've lost 7 games in the last 10 home games. They're not in good form, they're quite in poor form. And away side, Trinidad, have won 5 games, they've had 4 draws. They've lost just 1 in the last 10 away matches. The last 3 away games saw them winning all 3 away games. And the last time both teams met, even though it was a 1-1 draw on that very occasion, but we are going with the away side here. Trinidad to win out in this very encounter. It is quite a big odd, but we'll still expect to see the way side winning here. I will win. That's what value for that very one. Okay. All right, and that concludes it for us today on Betcraft. We wish you the very best of luck and hope your ticket goes green. Remember to play responsibly, as these are football markets. Sometimes it may not be exactly what it presents. Remember, the other games that we have for you today will be on our VIP special. Don't forget to join. A link in the description of this video would always lead you to our VIP special, as well as anywhere you see join in this very video, join channel membership. All right, that's what we're talking about. So, all right, that being said, tomorrow is another day. We'll be back with our predictions. Do not miss out, but until then, keep winning. Remember also to like our video and share as well, so that we can get to have many other people have the opportunity to see what we do. All right, until tomorrow, keep winning.